Isn't it too loud?
No, it's too loud. This day's been fucking terrible. This day's been god fucking
I'm
awful.
sure no one can barely hear you.
This day's been god fucking awful. This day has been god awful. Right? No.
One more awful day.
This day has been god awful, honestly.
Just one more.
Fuck me. It's only about 12 people are coming in, they can play. The old junk's back. No, Clint, it's not god awful. Me day was god awful. Me trading wasn't god awful. Me trading was good. It wasn't bad. Me day was god awful. It was a fucking shitty. Not gonna say too much, but shit day in places. Today was. I've got a small swing, but lost. I'll show you guys. It's good to talk through some plays and stuff like that. Man, fucking crazy day. Crazy fucking day. I'm trying to find out where you guys are. All right, so I've got YouTube people on, but I've got a feeling there's a bunch of people on Twitter as well. If you guys are on Twitter, you need to go to the YouTube channel. See, there's 20 people watching.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Guys, like, I can see you guys watching. There's more people on Twitter than on YouTube. Go to the YouTube channel, Junk Trades, if you want to comment. If you don't want to comment, you don't have to comment, but you need to go on like Steven Johnson Stocks, Junk Trades, because there's some on YouTube, but there's much more on Twitter, but it's not showing Twitter and it's not letting us comment. But if you've got any questions, if you've got any stocks, let us know. I'll be totally transparent with you guys of how things are going. Let us just actually share screen. And then ask any questions on stocks, on tickers, and in the meantime, I'll show you guys how things have been going. I brought stocks to trade up for old time's sake. But stocks to trade's a cool platform. I think it's nice to review some stocks. I think you guys can see pretty clearly. Well, I was talking on email contact with Tim Bone the other day, and he was saying, I wonder if I've got access to these rooms still. I don't even know how to access. I don't think I can access the rooms this way. I don't know. Maybe it's withdrawn. I don't know. But I think Tim Bone's going to come on a podcast on Trade Zero, like through a Trade Zero thing with the co-founder. So maybe Tim Bone's coming back. So I jumped back on stocks to trade. But anyway, it's a cool platform to review stuff on. No fucking way. Alex South joining the webinars like old times. Nice to see you, brother. What's up, Duff? Evening, Technics. Evening, Clint. What's up, Jacob? What's up, Milton White? I mean, look, there's no denying the last 12 months were just a fucking disaster. Made 100K in the markets, then it's just been 12 months of hell, basically. My girlfriend would say, right? It's been 12 months of hell.
Oh, yeah.
12 months of losing. Not like consistent losing, but like pretty much losing all the time. Lost like 40K. It's only... And even this month I was losing. Like I took some crazy losses, and it wasn't until like, I'm not saying like, oh, it's because of MIC. Well, it is because of MIC, but I don't want to make this about MIC, but it's only this week I fucking followed process and like sized down. Took me first red day today. But like every day is green. The green days are bigger than the red days. It's easy when you size down, Like 300 shares is nothing for me. Like $1,000 position, $500 position is nothing. So it's been kind of easy to do this. And I sized up for first red day setups because the highest probability, right? But like nothing special. I'm red on the month again. But at least in these last 9-10 days, there's hope of, since I've established this process, that it can work and it can be scalable. And as long as the process works, my emotions are tough to deal with, as any traders will be. But as long as my process is good, when I've had a good process in the past, I found that I could handle my emotions, like to the point where I did really, really well, like 10, 15K months and stuff. But the most important thing is process, because if your process is good, then when things are going good, it's easy to have discipline. But when things are going bad, like your discipline amplifies worse. So now that my process is good, it's like I can kind of keep my discipline in check. I'm not perfect, but it's easier. But so I just want to kind of show the process that I've learned. It is like MIC. It's similar, to be honest, to how I used to trade, but much more focus. I can't give secrets away, obviously, but much more focus on size, front and back, much more definition on what is backside death line, and just really mostly appropriate sizing, and what like much more focus on the news. Whoever I say is like the news isn't important is a fucking joke, because everyone reads the news to determine if it's a long or a short. And the last thing is obviously like paying close attention to dilution as well. But Alex, how's your trading going these days? You all right? Someone's asking, how much are you down for the year, if you don't mind me asking? I can show you. Like, baby, please don't scrunch the crisp packet so loudly when I'm on a live stream.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
Guys, there's no secrets here. This is me track record. I think June's obviously, like, I'm not gonna ever lie. I've got no advantage to lie to you guys. So now with borrow fees, in June I'm down 2.4. So this is not as much as it was. But I'm red 3 months in a row. It's catastrophic. I'm red like the last 12 months almost. Down 7,000 last year, 7,000 this year, up 66,000 the year before. Profits in the last 3 years are only $52,000. But I am up. But I am green. 2019 was flat as well. So like, I think I was up a couple of thousand 2019. 2018 was trading small. So like at the fucking worst, I'm up like 47, 48,000, which is not very good. I'm not the most brilliant trader, and I've invested 5 years, and this 50,000 is all I've got to share. But I'm being honest with you guys, like this is the reality, and we can only hope that with this new process, yeah, I'm still green, and I can only hope with this new process, once I did turn like a small amount into over 100,000, like this 2020, I was up 66,000, and then up to here, I was up over 100,000. So, and I can turn small amounts into big amounts, but it's all about good process for every market, and I'm hoping I've got that. So I think I'm down 7K this year. I don't know if I'll recover it. I hope I will. But we can talk about some trades. Like TRVI was the main gapper of the day. And it was a tough one because the borrows were cheap. It was a crowded short. It behaved like it was crowded. These kind of runs in this area, it's the type of stock that can go on multiple runs. It's just had some pullback, and then it looks like it's like capable of running again. So like you can never really trust what this is going to do. It's phase 2 news as well. The thing that threw off everyone on TLDI is that it's got dilution. Like it was like, so TLDI was, hang on, let us figure this out. Oh, it's just some music I was listening to. If you look at TRVI, this has an ATM and it's just not using it. So like 424B5 in progress 50 million. So it's got an active ATM where it says date of takedown, but I think it actually has, this ATM is valid. It's not date of takedown. I think it got like redone. It got renegotiated for like the 22nd or something. So this 50 million is done. is active, and off the back of KZR, which dumped on an ATM and also phase 2. So both are phase 2. And this had like a 200 ATM and dumped. So like, because KZR flat out dumped yesterday, like most people were anticipating that TRVI would flat out dump as well. But I think the reality is it just got too crowded. And I was early on this, like too cushioned from KZR. Like small size, but still early in this channel, in this area here. And then obviously by the time it came down, it was like break even. I took it all off in the 240s and then tried again, like around this area on the 260s and whatever, like made a small amount of money, but that was it. So TLDI was like a crowded version of KZR. And I mean, in hindsight looking, I think it's more of a case of playing off levels. It's kind of obvious levels, right? 270s, 290s. It's down a lot, so I expect it to pop up, like scale into like the 270s, 260s, 270s. And then maybe when it cracks full, it's always hindsight trading, but when it cracks this like kind of 260s level, where it bottomed, maybe you can presume most are underwater. But I mean, it was a weird one. TRVI was hard. NRSN, I think that was like the hot play of that had a NRSN was funny because it was a runner that looked like it was coming down, and then they put a PR out early in the morning with more news. So that's what's caused this kind of spike back up. And I'm not like a major advocate of short and front side, but I mean, it was as textbook as you can get when you look at the double top. I mean, couldn't have got a clearer double top rejection, but I'm like when shorts are probably underwater and holding for more fade, I'm not the biggest fan of holding shorting into resistance on a PR. Like, it's just not what I felt like doing. So, especially pre-market as well, right? So I kind of missed this one, but for me, I thought with NRSN, I should put VWAP up on here, but hang on. See if I can get VWAP up, because that's I haven't used stocks trade in a while, but I like it. It's gonna take. Let's just play off the lines. Obviously, like here's like a major like death line. Like this is the area where all the longs are bagged on NRSN. So it had the PR, but once it falls through this area on the $3 whole number as well, I think you've got a short there. Tries to come back a couple of times, but ultimately it completely tanks. Like I had a short. I was actually, it's hard to remember without VWAP, but I left it at the open because I thought it was going to be mental. And then maybe it was this area here. The VWAP area was a nice short. It like faked, it kind of went down, but then it looked like it was going to fake everyone out. And then, yeah, this is it. And then I really added on this stuff. You see this stuff with volume? And then you got like green, red. So this move here is red on the day. It's reclaimed and then dropped. But I mean, if you look like you've got so many like elements to say that this is a short. I mean, the stock, it released news, right? Remember, so pushed on news, consolidated, pushed on news. But when a stock is rejecting on news, like guys, it's put on a PR and it's going down. Like there's something wrong. So it's almost like whoever the people involved were, for me, they've like used the press release. It's some coordinated thing, and they've used the press release to create the volume to get out the position. That's how I see this. And then so like, and especially like this stuff, this is like a million shares worth of people like getting the fuck out of the last position. And now I think if it rejected this hard and went red on a press release, now I think it should be done. Like there shouldn't be any more games. The only problem is with NRSN is it's right on support. Like if you look at the support level, it's right on support. Yeah, like it's bounced. So I'm just wondering if tomorrow, because you saw Rev when I fell through support, like I'm wondering if tomorrow you get something like this, because like we saw Rev, like when Rev was done, like Rev was done. So sorry about that. Rev had its move where it was like chopping around, but once this was the day, so this is the 28th of June. 28th of June, like you see how it like bottomed on the daily? But when it fell through, and this is kind of what I'm looking for, like this small push, and then it just tanks through. And I'm just wondering if NRSN, which has had a similar kind of like 3-day consolidation, I'm wondering if that can just tank through. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm really curious about with NRSN. And this for me is a swing. If it's failed on the PR and it's gone red yesterday, it's shown major signs of weakness. I don't know if like, I don't think it'll fall through to the key levels are really like you've got 250 and you've got 230. So I don't think it's going to fall through today, but maybe tomorrow it's going to be I don't know if it's a slow bouncing ball and it falls through. Ultimately, I mean, I think NRSN's got a lot of cash. That's the problem. Like they're not like in need. It's 80 months cash or something, if I remember rightly. 80 months cash. So it's not like they're like run into the hills and they need money. Like I think they've just released phase 2 news. They don't need money. It's a weird one, but if it doesn't do anything other than be weak, if I swing it, then I mean I didn't check the initial news, but maybe it's in the middle because it's like, but like for the fact that it failed on good news, if it continues to be weak, I'll just hold it down. And that's my thought on that. If it starts holding, like if it holds this 230s, holds the 250s, opens green tomorrow, then there's no reason to stay in it because it's like holding key levels. It's actually had phase 2 news. It's just letting the chart say what it's going to do. KZR was the ATM. Are you okay, babe? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Are you in love? Are you in love?
All of them together.
All of them together. My girlfriend can't handle red wine like I can handle red wine. I think she's drunk. We're gonna go from cocktails because today was shit. Trading was good though, but I lost money, but it was good. But today sucked it. KZR had the 200 million ATM, and I honestly expected like fade to the sixes. I thought, well, obviously the ATM is going to continue selling off. The fact that it hung around was weird. I actually loved the $10. I would have got nowhere in here. So where else are you going to risk off? I think you can risk off the $9, like the next whole dollar, but it got nowhere in here. I'm not going to risk off the 8. Like it's 2 down already, right? So KZR, it's like consolidating now. It's like bottomed around the 8s. It's hell, like maybe it pushes. Probably it can be a reshort, but I'm not gonna go into it. Guys, any questions? Hit us up. I'm nearing the end of my stock pitch. EVFM was that sub penny thing that ran on the road. Was it Road v Wade, whatever the abortion news was, but it actually had no news. This stock was I took this yesterday, so it was a nasty stock for the fact that it looked like it had broke down. So like say the key, where did it open? Hang on. Say its low of day was here. It like, you should have been able to presume that it's dead here. Because it's felt, I mean, not definitely because it's like multi-day runner, but it's fell through support, it's broken down. Like I expect a short into resistance, yes. And it stuffed over resistance and then it fell apart, which is like nice trade, like good action. It's choppy. It's choppy because it's sub penny and sub pennies move all over the place. But you had a nice like fell through the death line, retested. Yeah, it came over and back on that. But if you stop out and re-get back in, then you've got a nice 130 down to the ones short. And then today it was like a case of can it retest any key levels? But I mean, it opened in the 90s, so like, is $1 a test? So like, where did it test? It opened in the 90s, so like $1. You could have had the $1 short. I'm not sure if that's a bit aggressive, but if you took it, you've got down like, say for example, you took the $1 short, you've got like a beautiful trade, 15%. Where did it reject $1? Came back down. Where did it reject $1? Came back down. EVFM now is like, it's probably losing volume. I'm not sure what's going to happen on it. ENDP. ENDP, I think it extended like what from what? It's not volatile enough. CBio. CBio, I think, was like not really that great a trade. Everyone says that to us. I've had that like for the last 5 years. I don't look at stocks to trade a lot, really. I don't trade off this. I use other programs. I'm just using this to analyze stocks with you guys now because it's super clean. But I don't really use stocks to trade, to be honest. It's just like very big and clean, easy for you guys to see. But CBio, it was down a lot. But and then if you look for the like resistance levels, 180, like, oops. This is a clear resistance level, but it's not really any kind of number. Hard to map this out. Probably like these lines are loose, but I think you've got this like pre-market where it's supported. You can see it topped out at a couple. Well, it topped out once. It actually topped out once, twice, 3 times. That's not a very good line, but it actually topped out 3 times from the pre-market support. But CBio just wasn't up enough. Chart's actually uptrending after it had that first green day. I mean, it is up from like 28 cents to 170, but it's like it's consolidated and broke. So like for me, I don't know really why I was in this, to be honest. It was a weird one. AJRX. And guys, lastly, any questions? I'm going to go drink cocktails and get drunk because I don't care about my life anymore after this. Do you care about your life?
Always.
Yeah, my girlfriend's really drunk. My Brazilian girlfriend. You're really drunk.
I'm not drunk.
I can see by your eyes.
I
can see by your eyes.
No.
Was crummy action today. Was crummy action. AJRX. It was a really interesting one because like it had the first red day. No, it was gapped up, failed, and then like this is on no news, so the promoters have just squeezed it, right? So this was the first green day, completely failed, and then whoever's who are in it, they've squeezed it up, and then they've like this is a big short squeeze. They've just squeezed it. I was a bit too aggressive on this considering it's like being squeezed by a pumper. But I suppose you've got like your key levels definitely like 220, 280, but wow. 220, but I should have stopped at 220 higher day. Like yesterday I was shorting into this, but anyway, today it opened in the 2s. So yeah, it didn't quite reach like 220 resistance. That's like multi-day resistance over 3 days, but because it's a complete pump, it was actually a nice short into resistance that I missed. And you had huge range on that from like 215 down to 150. Like it's one of the biggest winners of the day. Short in a pump on its first red day. I actually really missed this play. This is a big miss. Big miss. This green day, like ran from 110 to 280, like 100+% run, and then on its first red day, I didn't even short it. Didn't even think to short it. And Knives is asking, how did you know that AJRX was a pump? It's just because it's got no news, right? So if you can't find the news anywhere, then it has to be a pump. Like if there's no reason for it to be up. Wait. It says healthcare breakthroughs. So maybe AJRX is like the last news. All right, so yesterday this came out. But yesterday it was this day. Like, what about this day? So on this day, on the 27th of June, it came out and there was no news, like no news at all on the 27th of June to say like this should be up. And then this came out the next day. So like, yeah, so I think that might be what happened. I'm not sure 100%, but I think this was a pump and then maybe they released news to like squeeze people. I don't know, but it's not, the move seems to me like it's not a real move from the start. So for me, it's like a pump. And then, yeah, you've got the short and then it came back down. But this is something I can maybe check out and just see, because this might just be a random article saying what stocks are up on the day. Is this the same? KZR, NMR, AJRX, report latest advances. Like, this is weird. Like, I think this is some sort of sector momentum because KZR and AJRX must be in the same sector. So I think the stocks are moving in the same sector. Maybe KZR was the leader. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's not really, for me, it's what I say, it's not up for any real reason. Not a contract win, not a product launch. AFIB, yeah. So there you go. AJRX is a road v win sympathy play, but once the leader of the sympathy plays dies, they all die. AFIB, sub penny, so I don't like it. I think the nice short was, again, like, look at the levels it rejects at. We opened down in the 80 cents, so some sort of reject from one I'd be looking at the next day. So where's one? Yeah, so didn't really work. AFIB, I think for this one, it took too long. Like, if this had popped up in the morning before like 10 o'clock, fine. But I don't like shorting at 11 o'clock. I think the volume dries up, so I wouldn't have took this anyway. But this had hit earlier in the morning, I would have took it. But as it happened, it just grinded and held all day anyway. Now with AFIB, it's like, I don't know what's going to happen with this stock, but it's making like some crazy uptrend. So let's see what happens. But I mean, that's all the stocks that I've been watching. If you guys have any other questions, right here to answer them. Nice to have like quite a few people on. See how many of you guys are on Twitter as well. Nice to see like a good number of people on. Happy to be doing these again. Shame that I'm red today. But any other questions? Otherwise, I'm out. All right, I'm out. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys again.